I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists. It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the extreme sorrow and pain, hope and regret coursing through. Father told me that but in truth, I died the moment. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant. As for your question, the Loom of Fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger. Once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level ability to influence memories. But it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my life. Ah, that. I was wrong to implant those memories. I'm sorry I caused so much trouble. Not only for everyone in the village, but for you as well. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world, as if... I know what you must be. Why would I do something so meaningless? But I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life. Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. I know it sounds stupid. After all, any chance at living was stripped. Even the form you see before you was... I know. But there's nothing I can do to... If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the sudden... I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight's sword. Exactly. The Loom of Fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body. His plan was to lure the Abyss. He would then hand the eye to you. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal. That's right. Because in... Before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, I'm sorry, Traveler. I promise I'm not trying to... Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet, creating in the face of everything they could be. In any case, you remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form. To comfort me, my father told me that story managed to... My goal was simple. To implant a specific memory. In that memory... I can't change the world. Not when all that's left of my... But now...
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a cup? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree? That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years. The loom of fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Yet such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who, even as a hilly churl, seeing the terrible sight within the mirror, he brought comfort to the... So ask yourself this. Of course, that's... Ether?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you, but for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers. Do you remember? A long time ago, when you told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me. Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean...
I miss you too, Ether. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. let alone my own brother.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our inability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our...
You're only telling me this now?